Hi, Angie Reynolds. Welcome to Music City Plastic Surgery, where you are in for a truly excellent experience in every way, with expert caring advice from a specialist to clinical mastery and cutting-edge technology to customer service rivaling Nordstrom, Ritz-Carlton, and Disney. Dr. Michael Burgdorf has carefully hand-selected the right team, medical facility, and technology, just as carefully as you will want to be about choosing the plastic surgeon and the treatment for yourself. That's why we've prepared this video. There are a few things you need to know to be an informed, knowledgeable, and well-prepared patient, and we are going to cover those in the next important minutes. You naturally want to know what to expect and may be a little nervous. At the end of this video, your major questions will be answered, you'll be more comfortable, and you'll have a better understanding for the success you'll want as a patient. So, let's get started. You'll be glad to know that Dr. Burgdorf is a specialist. Over and above medical school, he has specialty training as a general surgeon, plastic and reconstructive surgeon, and cosmetic surgeon. Despite what you may know, a plastic surgeon is more highly skilled than a doctor that does only cosmetic surgery. This is an often confusing but important differentiation. Let me explain. Cosmetic surgeons may not have the surgical experience to deal with complex cases because they're not even required to have surgical training in their background at all. That's right, it's a bit of the Wild West when it comes to the designation of cosmetic surgeon. In fact, many doctors from non-surgical disciplines like dermatology, family medicine, emergency room, and OBGYNs can call themselves cosmetic surgeons and often do cosmetic surgery as an add-on in their current practice. Not so with a board-certified plastic surgeon, which Dr. Burgdorf is. He is skilled at creating long-term solutions for his patients. In your experience, you'll get a greater transformative procedure, one that correctly aligns the mind, body, and aesthetics. Dr. Burgdorf does not think of himself just as a technician, like a mechanic or a painter. He's about transforming lives, not just improving appearances for a winning look and lifelong attractiveness, but by helping the inner beauty shine on the outside and supporting a confident attitude that impacts relationships. It's the ripple effect through relationships that is so important to Dr. Burgdorf. This is a very special X factor you will appreciate.
I was done with what I looked like before. And that's really what it was. It was like, well, I could have stayed where I was, but I wouldn't be as happy as I am now.
My husband did ask me that question is, okay, how come this place? Like, why, before we went to the consultation appointment? And I said, well, I don't know, but let's go find out. I said, I have a feeling about it, just from what I've seen online.
When I met with Dr. Burgdorf and his staff, I just immediately felt comfortable. I realized that he literally was listening to what I was saying. He picked up on some things that could have been interpreted as maybe I had some mental depression or body dysmorphia. And without him saying and literally saying those words, he just responded with additional questions that flushed that out without making me feel uncomfortable.
I thought that maybe I'm just not a good candidate for this type of surgery. I thought that plastic surgery could be for anybody, but evidently they must be misleading the public and just trying to steal people's money. Oh yeah, we can fix you, we can do this and we can do that, but no, you can't. And the first two doctors I went to, they couldn't. Now, Dr. Burgdorf was faced with an immense surgery with me. As far as, to me, it was immense. Maybe not to him, but he said he really could fix it, and he really did.
I think the depth of the explanation in relations to what was important to me, fitness, getting in shape, why I can't perform at the level that I wanted to, why I had been working out for years and areas of my body just would not budge.
I was looking for something that reminded me of me, something I could see myself in, right? So I was looking for things that appealed to me and really what I was looking for. But I was also looking for someone that I felt like I could have a connection with and just a very open and very, just very transparent conversation and relationship with.
You know, there was that guy in high school that was like popular and like played football, but he was nice to everyone. He like strikes me as that type. He was very personable. He's just a genuinely nice guy.
Not only could I tell him what my problem was, and I could ask him questions and tell him what I want, but he could tell me yes, no, whatever, or give me other alternative solutions, open my eyes up to other things that I didn't know about, and give me real explanations.
I personally liked how Dr. Burgdorf really tried to get to know what my end result was.
When he was speaking to me, he spoke to me, not down to me.
It's a delicate process, but he has it down. He's very good at understanding how you feel in an exam situation where you're kind of looking at what's going to take place and what needs to happen and what he's going to do, and then also understanding, looking at it from the spouse's perspective of, this is my spouse, this is an elective procedure, and yeah, this is going to be great when it's done, but this is also, it's a serious thing as well.
A lot of people don't realize there's a difference between a cosmetic surgeon and a board-certified plastic surgeon. So you definitely want to go to someone who's board-certified.
I could see the genuine excitement that he had as to how this was going to look when it was over.
I've always been pretty confident, but now I just feel like, I don't know, just different and more sexy and more mature. So when I walk into the office, like I did yesterday, and they were like, hey, oh my God, you look so amazing. You look this, you look that. I'm like, thanks. But they don't know what it is because I didn't go crazy. I just enhanced.
I am a much more confident person, not just in physical appearance, because although that's nice, that's not what it's about. It made me a mentally stronger person, to the level of, I am worthy, I am deserving. I am a good freaking human being, and no one can take that from me. Because before, see, here we go, you got it. When you are unhappy with who you are from a physical standpoint, especially as a woman, you can't put your shoulders back and reassure the world that is who you are. I have the heart, the body to match my heart, let me say that. And my mental game is 10 times stronger than it used to be because of the confidence that I've received.
I really do wish that I had done it sooner. I really wish I hadn't waited as long as I did.
Additionally, Dr. Burgdorf maintains the highest level of specialized clinical expertise possible through continuing education, information sharing with other doctors and medical professionals, and an investment in the latest technology. And make no mistake, technology has changed plastic surgery a lot. There's a greater ability to achieve more natural results with less risk and decreased downtime. Breast augmentation, liposuction, even tummy tucks or facelifts can all be performed on an outpatient basis, meaning you get to go home the same day of surgery, and recovery is so much quicker than it has been in the past. The technology of our non-surgical offerings now enables us to achieve many of the same, or sometimes even better results without any surgery at all. So possibly no scars and no logistic nightmare trying to juggle multiple schedules and plan a recovery time away from your normal day-to-days. The gal or guy watching this, who is going to be in the care of this doctor with his or her newfound look, vitality, and confidence, is going to get the very best and most individualized treatment possible here, worry-free, embarrassment-free, with the greatest pre- and post-operative care available. If you know anything about cars, you know that Rolls-Royce is considered one of the most luxurious and high-end automakers in the world. People often refer to a product or service as the Rolls-Royce of its category because the Rolls-Royce is such a superbly engineered and crafted automobile. It is the ultimate symbol of excellence, sophistication, and success, favored by Hollywood celebrities, foreign kings and queens. The Rolls-Royce was even the subject of one of the most famous magazine advertisements in advertising history, an inspiration for a fictional character on the TV series Mad Men. The ad was headlined, "The loudest sound you'll hear is the ticking of the clock." This kind of magnificence and perfection is exactly the standard that Dr. Burgdorf and Music City Plastic Surgery stands for, with every patient's care, experience, and outcomes. You should only need one plastic surgeon in your life, one who is committed to such a standard, and who has achieved a reputation for it. Rolls-Royce has never been about manufacturing efficiency. Each car is handcrafted, hand-built, patiently and individually. Similarly, Dr. Burgdorf does not measure his success in terms of economic efficiency, how many patients he can serve, how fast, in how little time, at lowest cost. For many surgeons, these are the priorities. And frankly, focus on such priorities can provide some services at lower costs and fees than offered at Music City Plastic Surgery. Such fee or price disparity exists in every business, product, and service category. You can stay at a Ritz-Carlton or Four Seasons, a Hilton or Marriott, a Hampton or Courtyard Inn, or a Motel 6. All arguably provide the same things: walls, a bed, bathroom. But your stay is temporary, with no lifelong consequences. Plastic surgery stays with you for life. You can check into a hotel, and if mistreated or disappointed, you can check out and relocate elsewhere. Undoing an unsatisfactory plastic surgery treatment is not so easy. A stay in a bad motel or hotel might result in some temporary physical discomfort, from a sleepless night to bed bugs, but it won't have a lasting emotional impact. Your appearance and feelings about it do. The Rolls-Royce comparison is about getting everything right the first time. Not a week passes without some car company making the news with a big recall of defective and often dangerously defective cars. I can't recall seeing a Rolls-Royce recall. In short, the plastic surgery procedures and treatments decided on as most appropriate for you, and the surgeon in practice and its standards, its position on the Ritz-Carlton to Motel 6, the ordinary car to Rolls-Royce continuum, matter a lot more than whatever car you choose to lease or buy next, and arguably ought not be simply decided on by price or price comparison. Of course, only you can decide if a Rolls-Royce approach to diagnosis, plan design, expert treatment, care and aftercare matters to you, and how much it matters. Obviously, it's not important to everyone. If that sounds a little elitist, I suppose it is. Dr. Burgdorf's patients tend to be the kind of people who are very conscious and concerned about getting the best that they can afford in everything: education, health and wellness, in financial advice and expertise, even in the furnishings in their homes and the cars in their garages. They well understand value and not just price. That's why you're here, and we want you to know you are in the right place. I don't mean to scare you about this investment. With a wife, 4 kids, and a household himself, Dr. Burgdorf understands and respects the costs involved with raising a safe, healthy, smart, and self-confident family. His entire approach is based on how we would treat the daughter or son, mom or dad, husband or wife of his closest and dearest friend. That includes fair, reasonable, and fully transparent fees, all-inclusive fees, and convenient financing when needed. But it also includes not compromising or sacrificing or taking shortcuts just to shave a bit off the price. I do want you to expect a Rolls-Royce standard from start to finish. Were you to shop around, you would most likely find a number of plastic surgeons offering what seem like the same treatment options, even named the same or with components from the same manufacturer. Still, all treatment is not the same. Not all plastic surgeons approach creating the ideal appearance in the same way. As a somewhat limited but still useful analogy, consider bringing someone in to paint the interior of your home. You might say paint is paint. And to a great degree, that's true. And you might find several different painting contractors, all using the very same paint, yet creating different results and requiring different prices for the same project. In choosing one over the others, you will likely consider any number of factors, including their reputation and what their clients have to say about them, before and after pictures of their work, their experience, and your assessment of their sincere interest in what they do. Are they really interested in creating the most beautiful, most perfect look for your home, or just about getting paint on the walls as quickly as possible? You will probably even be rightfully suspicious of anyone offering too cheap of a price. You know they'll be under pressure to take shortcuts and compromise along the way. You will also judge their attitude in their conversations with you. You won't say to yourself, well, paint is paint. They're all using the same paint and they're all doing the same thing, putting paint on walls. So what's the difference? You know there's a difference. Here we are talking about something considerably more important and more technically complex than paint on walls.
To me, I just thought plastic surgery was something that was only reserved for wealthy or celebrities, like, because it's expensive. So you're like, well, how am I ever going to be able to? It just seemed so far away, like something that was unattainable.
Okay, the first thing that comes to mind is cha-ching, is money. And the reason why is because, you know, a published author, okay? And I'm thinking, all right, published author. And then, oh, he's been on the doctor's show. And so this guy's been around. He's well known enough throughout his own plastic surgery community and gotten awards and things like that. And even though that's what I wanted, that is what scared me, because I thought that that would put me out of his range.
I just kind of got to that point where I thought, okay, there are some benefits to having this done that if I wait another 5 or 10 years, those benefits really aren't going to be as much of a benefit as they are now. So I kind of weighed the timing and the financial aspect of it and put it together at a time when we could do that.
The cost, yeah, I mean, it's a chunk of money, but I also work really hard, and I didn't decide to just go to, the mall and like walk in like, oh, I'm going to get a boob job today. Like, I knew the cost. I understood long term, how that cost could affect me, the maintenance that it could require. And I wanted to do it. I mean, I deserved it. It was what I wanted.
You really don't want to just have the expense be the determining factor, right? You're not looking for, this is a very, it's a very serious thing, and you want the best quality that you can get. So that's an important thing to take into consideration.
It's very hard for a person who is a giver to receive. And that's the only thing I can equate it to, especially when it's a large sum of money. It's guilt, tremendous amount of guilt that we're doing this for me. It was the constant reassurance from Scott that this is what we're doing. This is a gift. Look at what you have done. You have raised 2 children. Look at what you have accomplished. You are doing this.
I made my decision based on where I was in my life. It was more about just me feeling better about myself. And that is an unknown, that answer is going to be different for everybody. But I think it's extremely important that everybody makes that decision based on how they want to feel, and not just on how they want to look, and not compare themselves to other people. This wasn't about me looking better for somebody else, for other people to look at me. It was about, I want to look in the mirror and feel good about myself. I want my husband, fiance, to look at me and feel good about who he's with.
I just wanted to feel like I did as a teenager. All women want that.
One of my friends is interested in having it done since I've had mine done, and she asked the cost, and she's like, no way, that's it? And I said, yeah, that was it. And my other 2 friends were like, that's all you paid? And I was like, yeah. It's not as expensive as I thought it was.
We weren't looking for the least expensive at all. We were looking for someone who was going to do the best job possible.
He's competitively priced.
It really comes down to what you want to spend your money on, what's important to you.
I just justified it through, I thought about it, I can afford it, and I'm going to do it.
When you know you want it done, you're going to figure out a way to do it.
I would pay double to be where I am right now. I would. Not just physically. It has nothing, maybe a little bit to do with the physical side of it, but it's emotionally what it has done for me. I'm a brand new person because my confidence went from maybe a 4 to a 10. It's amazing what it has done, and that is worth every single penny we spent.
There aren't a lot of real guarantees in life. Dr. Burgdorf has a firm commitment to delivering the best in service, care, and results. If for some reason you are not satisfied with your experience as a patient at Music City Plastic Surgery, you can rest assured that Dr. Burgdorf will do all that can be done to correct the problem. He will not abandon you, but walk the journey alongside you. This is how supremely certain we are of the positive results you will have at Music City Plastic Surgery. Founder Dr. Michael Burgdorf is pretty special. Originally from New Jersey, he attended the University of Notre Dame and played linebacker under the legendary coach Lou Holtz. Living life with a commitment to excellence has been a consistent theme in Dr. Burgdorf's life. During medical school at Tulane University in New Orleans, he concurrently earned his Master's in Public Health degree from Tulane School of Public Health and Tropical Medicine. Making Nashville his home, Dr. Burgdorf has created the most state-of-the-art plastic surgery center available with respect to technology and personalized patient care. Since starting his plastic surgery practice, he has become a 2-time #1 Amazon best-selling author with his books The Mommy Makeover, Restoring Your Body After Childbirth, and The Daddy Do-Over, Boost Your Confidence in the Boardroom and the Bedroom. He can add recording artists to his list of accomplishments after spending time in Dolly Parton's studio, where he recorded the audio version of his Mommy Makeover book, found on iTunes, and was a recipient of the coveted Mom's Choice Silver Award, only losing behind Pampers. He has received the Doctor's Choice Award and multiple Patient Choice Awards, even so far as to have his accolades displayed on the Jumbotrons in Times Square. He has been featured on major television shows like The Doctors, Headline News, and HLN Morning Express, been interviewed on international radio stations, been quoted in the Wall Street Journal, New York Daily News, FoxNews.com, New York Post, Cosmetic Surgery Times, The Week magazine, among others. Dr. B has been a longtime board member of A Vintage Affair, a wine-tasting charity organization where close to $2 million has been raised for women and children in need in his hometown. And he even has his very own personal wine label, the aptly named Perfect Profile. But to him, his most important accomplishments center around the marriage of almost 20 years to his wife and the raising of his 4 children. This is why the ripple effect of his work through relationships of his patients is so important to him, and why he is on track to treat over 10,000 patients and positively impact over 20,000 direct relationships throughout his career as a plastic surgeon. Now, a word from Dr. Burgdorf.
How can you be sure you're choosing the right plastic surgeon? Having observed hundreds of them and personally providing care to patients for almost 2 decades, I think I have a few worthy suggestions. The plastic surgeon you choose should have a solid reputation for helping people get great results. You may want to consider a number of things, including online reviews. The surgeon you choose should be able to provide you with real-life patient testimonials, gladly willing to fully identify themselves and share their advice about going through the same treatment that you will go through. Walt Disney taught his executives that the key to success was doing what you do so well that people can't resist telling others about you, with sincere enthusiasm. I borrow a lot from Walt and from today's Disney's company. Clinical excellence is not, in my opinion, enough. Your overall experience matters to me. You'll find that the volunteered, enthusiastic testimonials from my patients are not only about the actual physical outcome of their procedure, but about how comfortable they were, how safe and well cared for they felt, about their entire experience, and how they feel about themselves today. You should also consider the surgeon's experience. Frankly, you do not want anybody learning on the job with you as part of that education. Nor, frankly, do you want just any surgeon. You want a doctor who has specialized training and experience in the psychological, physiological, and biological aspects of the procedure. It's one thing in how you will look, but it's much more important about how you'll feel about yourself with your new look, now and in the future. Plastic surgery is something many people, if given the choice, will only do once. You should be made to feel at ease, secure, and comfortable that all your questions and concerns are heard and answered. If you ever leave the office feeling confused or with unanswered questions, I believe something's wrong. You want a doctor you can and do trust, but not one who expects blind trust, who's impatient or imperial. There's a bad, age-old joke about doctors acting like gods and gods thinking he's a doctor. Your surgeon should not exhibit a God complex. You want a doctor who can not only effectively communicate the surgical options to you, but can also discuss the reasons for his or her recommendations based on you and your situation. Let me wrap up with this. You might be surprised what patients will tell me, which, by the way, stays private. In this video, you're hearing from several of my patients sharing their experiences. Socialization is a pretty important thing for many people. However, we're seeing sort of a desocialization by, of all things, social media. No one should hide out feeling ashamed or embarrassed by their appearance. This is serious stuff. Shaming and bullying, real or perceived, has real consequences. This is about life, not just about perfectly formed hips, tummy, or breasts. There are a lot of reasons people worry about talking with a plastic surgeon. Some will insist his or her looks is no big deal, when it really is. There are a lot of people secretly ashamed of how they feel in their current body. My friend, there are no number of push-ups or crunches that will reverse the effects of time or gravity, especially for those women who bore children. Patients have told me they feared it would be painful. Things have changed a lot in the past decade. We've made breakthroughs in technology and care. Of course, your experience and results depend on choosing the right surgeon. Another reason people are nervous about getting an examination or assessment is they think treatment or procedures are going to cost way too much, so why even bother with an exam? Sure, plastic surgery is elective and not covered by most insurance plans, though there are a variety of financing options that can make the treatment you want affordable, with payments tailored to the household budget as needed. This is nothing to be embarrassed about. Raising a family is an expensive proposition. I'm sure you've invested a lot of time and thought into plastic surgery before you've gotten here. And for many of our patients, it's often as much about how it will make them feel on the inside as on the outside, sometimes even more. Therefore, providing first-class mental, physical, and emotional health for yourself is important. Surely something you want, particularly if you don't get it, but it does have to be paid for, and those concerns are understandable. Nothing you discuss with us ever leaves the office. I have a family and budget issues too. Some share they're worried what their partner, friends, or family would think about their having plastic surgery. There's no mistaking that some people carry false ideas about plastic surgery. However, you'd be surprised at how open and receptive those closest to you would be on the idea of your having aesthetic treatments. Another worry is that it's going to require too much time off work. The right doctor, one who's focused on the patient and his or her needs, will go out of their way to work around your schedule for a minimum of absences, if any. Modern technology, great products, and advanced procedures have reduced the term of care and recovery. Finally, I think there are people who have had a bad experience or two with surgeons. You may have been talked to discourteously, hurried, kept waiting way beyond appointment times, and otherwise, frankly, abused. I know what it's like to be the patient because as a sickly child, I basically grew up in a doctor's office. I work personally with every patient. For me, this is a partnership in care. There is no reason not to do your procedure now rather than to indecisively postpone it. It's human nature to put the wants and desires of others ahead of yours, to justify that the time and money is better invested on others than in yourself. But you know what? It's time. You deserve it. I'm very glad you're here today. You're going to be very glad too.
As you heard from Dr. Burgdorf at Music City Plastic Surgery, you are experiencing plastic surgery reinvented, somewhat in the same way that Starbucks reinvented the coffee shop, Amazon reinvented the bookstore, and Apple reinvented the phone, the camera, the way we communicate. You are in for a great experience. New beginnings are wonderful things. The author of one of the most famous books on successful personality, self-image, and confidence of all time, Psycho-Cybernetics, Dr. Maxwell Maltz, was given an original painting from Salvador Dali. The painting depicts a person coming out of darkness into light, a new beginning. Anyone who has been secretly ashamed of their personal appearance, frustrated with trying to keep the curves under control, being uncomfortable with shopping for clothes, or being in public knows about darkness. Your Music City plastic surgery treatment is going to bring you out into the light with a new, confident self. There is sometimes a temptation to procrastinate, to shy away from a decision about this literally at the final step. I really hope you won't do that. Delay has real, practical health consequences. It can make treatment more difficult and costlier to do at a later date. This is a great day for a new beginning. Do not hesitate to ask any and every question that may occur to you. One of our fundamental principles at Music City Plastic Surgery is that the better informed our patient is, the better the overall results. Having the utmost confidence in your surgeon relieves a lot of anxiety as you go through the actual treatment and procedures. We believe it even affects how calm and comfortable a patient can be. We know there is no shortage of providers for you to choose from, including some who may offer lower fees. But we believe we are the best specialists and know that you'll agree if you fully understand this process. So we want your every question asked and answered. When you leave the office, you will have started your new beginning with a lifetime of health and happiness. This is a decision you can be proud of, a process you can trust, with a specialist you can relax and be comfortable with. Thank you for watching and for choosing Music City Plastic Surgery.